Today I'm watching Fallout Season 1, Episode 7. We're getting close to the end of this first season. In the previous episode, we ended with Lucy, exploring this level 12 of Vault 4 and finding some very, very strange things, and these people in like tubes, these pregnant ladies, and the people from Vault 4, catch her, and she is, I think, like tranquilized. They put something in her neck. So yeah, I'm very worried to see where she's going to be at. Maximus was enjoying Vault life for sure. He had his robe. He was enjoying some snacks. So I don't know what's going to happen, if he's going to try and save her, if he's just going to, pretend he doesn't know her to enjoy his life in the vault. I could see him doing that more than I think he would risk anything to try and save her. I know he wants to get the head, but at this point, does he even want to go back to the Brotherhood? He's got a pretty good setup at the vault now. We also saw them do some kind of cult-like ritual, some weird sacrifice to what we found out was a nickname for Moldavers. So she's connected to all of this somehow. We had flashbacks with Cooper, and he meets Moldavers as well before everything that happened, and his wife working for Vault Tech and them trying to secure a place in a good vault. So yeah, I'm very curious to see where we're gonna go. The ghoul was caught by the police after everything that happened at the Super Duper Mart. Thaddius wasn't in the previous episode, but I'm sure he's got to be back to the Brotherhood by now with the head. Only a few episodes to go. I haven't played the video games, but I'm definitely curious to check them out now that I've seen the show. So thank you so much for sharing and this first time watching with me. If you have any other suggestions for TV shows you think I should watch, please comment below. And if you want to have a say in what movies or TV shows I watch, be sure to join Patreon. And as always, please like, comment, and subscribe to this channel, and check back often for more awesome content. I think he's eating Sandra. Oh, God. And yeah, how has Moldavers been alive these 200 years if she met the ghoul? Yeah, I think she's on the plate, buddy. Gross.
You thought.
He knew exactly what he was doing. Come on.
Was it Rufus?
I didn't say.
That must make you Tommy.
Is this the Heads family?
Yes. By the time I got this letter off your brother, it was a little bit hard to read.
Oh, shoot.
For some reason, I just can't.
And that's a cool shot through the bullet hole in the paper.
Am I really walking out of here today, or are you going to try and draw on me for what I did to your big brother?
He's like, not only did I kill him, but I've got the letter with the bullet on it to prove it.
Maybe not today, but maybe someday.
That's how revenge works, yeah. Oh, shoot. That's such a cool shot, too, of him walking out of the door frame. It looks very cowboy-esque. Is that an asthma inhaler with a vial in it?
In selling the end of the world.
Well, I'm sure there's a lot of money in selling a political ideology that ends in bread lines.
Oh, shots fired. Yeah, probably not a good idea.
That I know your wife. And perhaps a side of her you don't.
Yeah, I'm very curious to learn more about Barb's character.
So they could put it on the shelf? All because it didn't fit into their business model. I want your help.
Yeah, that's suspicious for sure.
Spy on my wife.
I definitely didn't think we'd see these two working together, especially in the past, but it's very interesting.
Communist, Mr. Howard. That's just a dirty word they use to describe people who aren't insane.
Yeah, I'm very curious to see where this is going to go. I feel like he wants to know more about what his wife does, and it doesn't seem like she can really tell him much. I don't know how much they've talked about it before, but I think he's going to... I don't know if he'll tell her what he finds out, but I think he wants to find out more information.
Go to level 12.
I saw what you were doing to those poor women. You're experimenting on them. It's...
Oh yeah, they're doing some weird stuff for sure. What is the holotape? I'm curious to see what their explanation for the experiments is. That's the guy from the original video with Cooper.
Happened here should not be used as a case study for what happens when scientists are given unregulated control.
Oh no, what did they do?
Hybridizing humans with radioactive resistant species still has potential.
Oh my god, this guy's messed up. Yeah, that's what we saw from the video. Oh! I'm guessing the patients revolted. Oh my god, what is that thing? Cheese and rice. Oh, bye. Just dragged off camera. That's the thing. That's the thing that we saw. Oh, good night.
What was the experiment in 33?
Well,
There wasn't any? What? Or is there an experiment at each vault? Is that what they're trying to get at?
You have infected our home with violence, and now you must pay the price.
Oh, I don't like this. I don't like this at all. Oh, she genuinely didn't know. Oh my gosh, freaking Maximus. Living that robe life. Who hasn't been there? He's not gonna do anything. No. His good deeds in this show have outweighed by his bad deeds greatly. Yeah, his ankle is broken for sure. He got stomped on. Oh, God. Cheese and Christ. That's not what I meant to say.
You know what? If you were a person, you wouldn't have any friends. You realize that?
Is it the head's dog also? Yeah, because he's following the head.
It's pretty selfish, actually. You know that? Bite what you want to bite. Go where you want to go. It's always...
I'm glad Vinny's snoozing on the couch beside me. He doesn't have to see this mangled foot.
Oh, yeah. This is great. A lot of space.
Don't put the dog in there. Oh my god, this guy.
Bigger than you. It's bigger than all of us.
What a jerk.
Great.
Oh my
See?
god.
The window and everything.
Yeah, he's still gonna die in there. Oh my god, this poor pup. Oh.
Of tolerance. It doesn't matter where you come from or what you...
Peak cult vibes, man. Culty, culty, culty.
You threaten that peace.
With the boxes of popcorn. Oh my gosh, she's giving like gladiator fight to the death situation. Oh, they're gonna behead her. She's already lost her finger.
To a fellow survivor, you are hereby sentenced to death.
Cheese and rice. Oh my god.
To the surface!
She's like, okay, that's actually where I'd like to go. This seems a bit ceremonial. You sharpen that knife, buddy. She wants to leave anyway. Oh my gosh.
Almost immediately, on the surface, by Lord knows what. That's why we're giving you 2 weeks of supply.
They're like, we know it's tough out there, so take some supplies. Goosey, yes.
And now it is time to be moving along.
can I just ask you one thing?
This feels like a meeting that could have been an email situation.
Like this. I know that I'm not really in the position to be asking favors.
She's preaching his praise while he's going down to their power and has no idea what's happening, obviously, but clearly he's trying to make his escape. Oh my god, he has no idea what happened, obviously. She's trying. Bye! Why would you even attempt to fight that thing? Ooh, into the tree! The popcorn! It's reminding me of the scene we had with the wedding where we have like this really calm music. Oh, this guy. And this like crazy chaos happening in the background.
An entire community to save him.
Yeah, like they're gonna die without this power, obviously. Is he slowly becoming a good person? They're giving it back. Yeah.
I was supposed to marry a stranger from another vault.
Is she proposing and like asking him back to her vault now?
You're a good person, Thaddius. And if you wanted to...
I think he's getting better because of Lucy.
And live with us in Vault 30.
Oh. Yeah, I don't think he's gonna be welcome back to the Brotherhood when they find out.
So all that stuff you're saying, you know, about me being a good person.
I think you can definitely see his character changing. Like, obviously, the way he acts towards Lucy, you know, he's trying to help her and seems genuine about it and is telling her that his name isn't.
Yeah, of course.
I think it's as close as a marriage proposal as you're gonna get, bud.
I don't take visitors at the station. A simple postcard will suffice. That said, enjoy the fiddle.
Just fiddle music. Oh my gosh. I guess you'd have limited options. Oh my gosh. Is this the chicken guy again? Why does he look familiar? He looks worse.
Sometimes fatal. But you're in luck, because I've got the cure. I have in my possession serums and...
This is a snake oil, man, if I've ever seen one. Oh my god.
Wandering travelers such as yourself.
I've seen this ailment. Yeah, my foot got crushed. It's not much of an ailment. Oh, shoot.
That's the sound of your lower intestine falling right the fuck out. But the results? Yes, the results.
Whoa, that's really cool. It did work. I didn't think it would work. I thought it was just messing with him. Looks like these prisoners are killing each other off. Oh my gosh. Or was it something in their food? What happened? That guy's... Yeah, this whole room is gone. Was there food?
The medic says it looks like rat poison. We'll find out who is behind it.
Norm, was that you?
Do something like that!
Oh, more death.
He didn't want the prisoners there.
What did I tell you, Norman? Words have meaning.
And we know he obviously pushes around the food cart, so... I thought she would send him to 32 for sure, but here we are.
You're a coward. You know that shit?
I feel like Norm's gonna go rogue, and... I mean... Yeah, at this point, what are you gonna do?
That's why we live in a vault.
Yeah, you don't want to face the outside world. And what is he gonna do? Tell Betty what he saw? She obviously was... Maybe she already knows. I think he's too curious. He's gonna want... I think he's gonna find it eventually. I don't know. I think he's gonna... I don't think he's giving up this easily.
Well, I may be a hero in movies, but you all are heroes in real life.
And he's watching his own commercial. Oh, man. We've seen him watch his own movies and stuff before, too.
No dogs.
Yeah, I knew he wasn't giving up that easy. I know he's conflicted, which is nice to see that he doesn't want to just immediately spy on his wife, but I think it's more he wants to know what's going on, and she either can't tell him or won't tell him.
My ride should be getting here any minute. Thanks again for letting me use your radio. That was really nice.
Nah, no problem.
Fred Armisen is in this? Okay.
Great job on these booby traps, by the way. Really good.
Hey, thanks.
No requests. Oh my god, that's grim. That's real grim.
That one's crazy.
Critics.
That's what he did to anybody. Like, is that a giant bear trap? What is that?
Can't be nice.
Anybody who didn't like what he was playing, he just killed him off.
Who are you?
I'm the person who got it off.
Okay,
Oh no! Oh, bye Thaddius. You just got booby trapped, and you just called for help too. Question. You take it out, you're dead for sure. No,
I'm not just gonna leave it there.
You have to. Go. Good night.
No.
Oh. Oh.
Now you're gonna die. Or now you can heal? Oh my god, he did say you didn't have to worry about radiation. So he can heal himself now?
I'm sorry about a lot of things. And it didn't mean for... Okay, nice to meet you. Bye.
He's so awkward, I love it. That was easier though to get the head.
What are you doing?
The Brotherhood's gonna try and take it. Yeah. But if they don't know what he looks like, then...
I'm not leaving. I'm not leaving.
Trust me.
Oh my, smooch. Yeah, I definitely didn't think Maximus would be like sacrificing himself back to the Brotherhood. And the head's kissing as well. Oh my god. Oh, Lucy's on her own then, I guess. So much for happily ever after in the vault.
Interim overseer of Vault 32, Stephanie Harper.
And again, they said they always had an overseer from 31. Steph's from 31, so... All right. Yeah, I don't know if... I feel like something's up. Like, it doesn't seem... She said she'd messaged 31 and, you know, asked who should take over 32, basically. And I was wondering how the vaults communicated to each other, but it seems like only the Overseer has access. Are you compromised? Yeah, you'd have to, like, play it cool without giving too much away, but also hoping they tell you more. That's a really cool office, though. But yeah, compromised how exactly? And, like, for what? Like, what's her ulterior motive? Okay. I thought someone would be there to, like, greet him. Like, obviously the door's open, so... But I'm glad we're getting to explore more of this. I wasn't sure if we would, and yeah, it's really interesting, especially since these three seem to be connected. What did he see? Okay, interesting. It just looked like a bunch of, like, luggage or some, like, machines and stuff on the ground. Very curious. And I believe that observatory is a real place in LA. I don't think it's called the Friendship Center, but I believe that's the name of the observatory. So it was my first time watching Fallout Season 1, Episode 7. I thought it was an okay episode. I was kind of expecting more, especially given how close we are to the end of the season, but that also makes me anxious going into the last episode to think that it's just going to be insane from start to finish. Please no spoilers, but yeah, this kind of felt more like a halfway episode, like episode 4 or anything like that. It didn't feel like an almost season finale. You know, we're getting close to the end episode. We definitely had some interesting scenes and some cool things, you know, moved along, but yeah, nothing, you know, really stuck out as like mind-blowing for me in this episode, which not every episode has to be that way, but like I said, I was kind of expecting a little bit more as we get to the end, and it's not like it's a 22 episode, you know, season. Like, there's only 8 episodes. So we have Lucy and Maximus are able to get out of the vault just by basically them letting them go, which is not what I thought was going to happen at all, which was brought some good, you know, comedic moments. To have Maximus storm in there and, you know, throwing people left and right and trying to save Lucy, and then, you know, turns out she doesn't need to be saved at all. And we have this radio tower new character in this episode, and I'm predicting for the next episode that Lucy will finally meet up with her dad. I don't know if they would drag it out to season 2. I feel like this whole season has been building to Lucy getting her dad, you know, finding her dad. Like, that's been her motivation through all of these crazy scenarios, you know, everything that she's run into, and, you know, fighting the ghoul and, you know, meeting all these crazy characters that she's met on the outside. I feel like it'll be a little disappointing if she doesn't at least meet her dad in the next episode. Yeah, I don't know what that would look like, but I'm very curious to find out. And yeah, this episode, I think there was definitely some good takeaways. I think Maximus's character change was one of the bigger parts of this episode. You know, we find out that he does want to save Lucy, which is not something I thought he would want to do at all. And considering every move he's kind of made, you know, his actions have been towards, you know, self-preservation. But even Lucy's saying, you know, like, the outside is tough, and he just learned to survive maybe, and, you know, became that person. And to see that shell kind of break away through Lucy and him start doing good things and, you know, returning the power so that he essentially gives up being a knight. Like, he doesn't have his suit anymore. He's about to be, like, apprehended by the Brotherhood, who I imagine are not going to be happy to see him, because who knows what Thaddius said over the phone. I think it's fair to assume that he blatantly told them that, Maximus had killed Thaddius, so I don't think that's going to go over well, and hopefully him having the fake version of the head will help, appease them, but I feel like they're going to find out eventually that's not the actual head that they need. But to see his character change, become more compassionate as Lucy, is kind of overflowing with kindness and goodness, and that kind of, rubs off on him, and they make this pact, get married or at least move in together, I guess, as he's planning on, finding her at the vault at some point. I don't know if the Brotherhood would ever let him go, but, they have kind of this romantic moment and they kiss, and Lucy kind of says how she feels about him and says, you're the best stranger I've ever met, which doesn't seem like she's met a lot, but still. And for him to finally confess that his real name isn't Thaddius, and I was wondering when that was going to happen, so I'm glad he finally did that. But yeah, it wasn't like a crazy episode. Thaddius is a ghoul now. Obviously, that crazy doctor that he met, gave him something that, yes, it did heal his foot, but, when he got the arrow in the neck, that's how they figured it out. So he takes off, like, everybody's just kind of scattered to the wind. Thaddius has gone one direction. Lucy's gone to try and find her dad with the head. At least she has the head now, because that was a big part of it, and Thaddius just gave it to them. Like, I feel like there were scenes that could have had more, like, climactic interactions, but just were like, okay, here you go. Like Lucy leaving the vault and getting the head, it's like, oh, here you go. And the fact that we'd have, Maximus and Lucy on this journey, for the past few episodes together, and now to think that the next episode they're going to be apart and they won't, end the season together is interesting. I don't know what the significance of the radio tower character was, if he's in the game, and it was interesting to, hear the music and some funny comedic moments from Fred Armisen, who was, guest starring in this episode, but, other than the giant booby traps laying around, yeah, I don't know why that needed to be part of the episode. Again, I haven't played the video game, so maybe it has a bigger role in the games. We did have some flashbacks with Cooper, and we finally get to see the meeting. I didn't think we would, because it just ended with them going. It was implied that he was going to this meeting, and he definitely doesn't want to stay. He goes up to leave, and to see him and Moldavers talk, I had a feeling that Cooper would spy, and it was nice to see that he would be conflicted and not instantly, want to turn on his wife. But I think it's more, right now, it feels like it's more for information, not so much going against his wife, if that makes sense. I mean, obviously, he should be not spying on her. That's not the right thing to do. But I feel like he's just curious and wants to know what's going on with these vaults. And yeah, like I said, either his wife can't tell him because it's confidential or won't tell him. I don't know. And we know from a previous episode, their conversation about it wasn't exactly, mutual. They had very different opinions on vaults. So I'm hoping in the next episode we get to hear some of those conversations, find out a little bit more information. I don't know how much she would say. I feel like he has to be pretty close to her, like in the same house, at least overhear her. So I don't know how much information he'll be able to get, but I'm curious because, like I said, we don't really know what happened to his wife. We know he was with his daughter the day the bombs dropped, but his wife, we don't really know. So I don't know if they would tie up that loose end or if they would bring it over into season 2. And of course, appointing Steph as overseer for 32. She's from 31, keeping with this, Norm and Chet have this look of like, okay, yeah, she's from 31, like that checks out. And obviously having that scene as well with Norm talking to 31, which at first my thought was nobody's going to respond. Like I thought nobody would be at 31 and that Betty's just been lying about, oh yeah, I talked to someone, over there, but maybe it was the same situation as 32, but at least someone is responding. And to have Norm walk in and we just see his reaction, we don't get to really see what he's looking at. It was kind of a shot of it looked like equipment or luggage almost or something on the floor. It was kind of hard to see what it was. So his expression definitely seemed a little bit scared. And when the door opens, nobody's there. Nobody's like, where's Betty? I thought somebody would go to greet them, especially when she says, or Norm says as her, like, oh, I've been compromised. And it's like, okay, well, clearly you went into this vault with other motivations. Like you've been compromised doing what? It's not like they went in there saying like, oh, I had a rough day at the office. Like clearly they have a mission, they have something else going on behind the scenes. And, even given the signs that we saw that were up in Vault 32 and these messages. And yeah, I definitely feel like the more you watch the show, you pick up on all these little Easter eggs and all these little pieces, even without playing the game. I feel like there's lots of things for the audience to pick up on. I'm also curious how Moldavers is 200, like how she survived this whole time, because if she knew Cooper, before, And now, 200 years later, we know how Cooper survived as the ghoul, but how is Moldaver's, is she also a ghoul? Like, yeah, I'm very curious to see if they explain that, considering they obviously met, before everything happened. I definitely was expecting Vault 4 to be more sinister, especially everything that we saw in the previous episode, but to find out that they're in fact trying to correct, history, and we see that old video of them when the first, original people that were in Cooper's commercial, them being attacked by this giant fish thing that looked like it was, from the previous few episodes ago when that was attacked Lucy and Thaddius. So yeah, it's interesting to see all these little pieces connected, but the fact that they are trying to help these people who've been experimented on and aren't doing the experiments, and yeah, it sounded like a really horrible situation that these, researchers were bringing in people and then experimenting on them. But of course, the way they play in the previous episode is that Vault 4 is in fact, conducting these experiments and just letting Lucy go also. They definitely seem to have more of that peaceful, diplomatic way that seems to be in Vault 33 at least. I don't know if all vaults are like that. I feel like if any episode could have been shorter, it could have been this one. I don't know that it needed to be an hour. I think they could have cut some stuff out, and we had a lot of scenes with Thaddius, and even the scenes with, the flashbacks, I think were a little bit slower. I don't mean this was a bad episode in any capacity, but like I said, I think my expectations for, okay, almost at the season finale, this is going to be some crazy episode, but yeah, I still felt like we're laying the groundwork, and maybe they have, season arches planned for 4 or 5 seasons out. I don't know, but yeah, with a short episode run, I feel like you have to really, make each episode count, and I feel like this one could have been condensed a little bit or have some things, in previous episodes. Obviously, we see the transition of everybody going to Vault 32, people being apprehensive about it, and the kind of the breakup of Chet and Norm, as, he calls Chet a coward and says like, okay, like, you're not going to even acknowledge this. And I can see why Chet would want to just move on with his life, and he's got this family now and he wants to just, be normal, whatever that looks like. But I can also see Norm's side of it where he's like, how can you just pretend this didn't happen? Like, this was a horrific thing. Like, these people were killed off, killing each other. Like, what was going on? Like, they blaming it on the Raiders, but still, like, it was this horrible thing that happened, and Chet just wants to sweep it under the rug. Obviously, I don't know how you would figure it out at this point. It doesn't seem like a ask questions type of place, and I definitely feel like Norm poisoned the people that they had captured, the prisoners from previous episodes. He was like, why are we keeping them? Like, let's just kill them off, basically. Like, why are we putting our resources? They're also supposed to still have limited water, which they haven't talked about in a while, and why are they putting all these resources into keeping these people alive? And Norm did not have that mindset, so we see him pushing the food cart many times, and yeah, someone else gets taken away, but I feel like he was behind it. Overall, I thought it was a decent episode. I'm curious to see how this is all going to come to an end for the first season. Hopefully Lucy can be reunited with her dad. I don't know what Thaddius is going to do. I don't know where his storyline could even go. I don't even know if he'll be in the next episode or if he's just going to take off. Maximus is now, being captured again by the Brotherhood with what they think is the head. Norm is in 31, possibly trapped in Vault 31. And is he trying to try and figure out what happened to 32, especially now with people actually occupying that space and, Chet being there and people he cares about in that space? Are we actually going to see Moldavers again? Like, is she going to come back into play? If she's with, Hank still, what's that going to look like? I'm very glad that the dog, was able to be rescued by the ghoul, and the two of them are now also on the same trail that Thaddius was on, and, will eventually end up at that radio station, which I'm not sure what the significance of it was in this episode, and bringing in new characters, this late in the game seems unnecessary, but yeah, I'm very curious to see where it's going to go. I've really enjoyed this series so far. I'm definitely curious to check out and play some of the video games and just see how it compares to the show and see what some of the differences and similarities are. But thank you so much for sharing in this first time watching with me. If you have any other suggestions for TV shows you think I should watch, please comment below. And as always, please like, comment, and subscribe to this channel, and check back often for more awesome content. Yeah, I think she's on the plate, buddy. He's like, not only did I kill him, but I've got the letter with the bullet on it to prove it. Is that an asthma inhaler with a vial in it? I'm guessing the patients revolted. Oh my god, what is that thing? Living that robe life. She's already lost a finger. Is she proposing and like asking him back to her vault now? Just fiddle music. Oh my gosh, I guess you'd have limited options.